Okay, so let's talk about the importance of head control from a passing perspective and then from a guard retention perspective. So, say Tyrone is on a playing seated guard and he's playing butterfly. So, again, from my perspective to pass, one way of passing butterfly, I would hand fight to get past his hands to come over and make that scapular grip over Tyrone's right shoulder. From there now, my left shoulder is controlling Tyrone's head. I could now make a grip on the pants, start to put Tyrone into the teeter-totter position where he's just about to fall. And now as I back step with my right leg, I'm going to circle Tyrone and basically pass his guard. So again, just on that side, bro. Yeah, perfect. So Tyrone is playing his butterfly guard. I managed to get head control. I have a grip on the pants. I'm putting him into that teeter-totter position. And now from there, as I back step, I'm going to circle him and then control that inside hip. So I used head control to initiate that pass. If we look at just from Nishi half guard, circle this way, we're perfect. So that would have been a direct way of controlling the head, just where my shoulder was connected to his head. Because Tyrone's wearing a gi, it's like a rope around his neck. So if I make a grip on his lapel, it's an indirect way of controlling his head. So from there, I can make a grip on the pants. If Tyrone is playing his knee shield like a purple belt and not like a white belt, I could stuff this knee and beat the knee line. From that position now, I could start initiating a long step pass using head control. So as I prop onto my elbow, I'll be bringing my head into the shoulder, back stepping out, switching the grips, and then running through. So again, from knee shield half guard, Tyrone's made his frames, he's got control of my shoulder line, he's got control of my hip line, he's framing here. I can now control his head, make grips. If I need to now, long step isn't going to work because I need to get to the shoulder line. So from there now I need to come back and stuff this and get my knee past his knee. Re-grab with head control with an indirect grip, and as I back step back and make that elbow prop, my head is in the shoulder so he can't come up on top. I can switch grips. And now I'll run him through. Also, if you've noticed from that position, from Tyrone's perspective, we talked earlier in the vids how the minute I got to that demarcation line, okay, so in other words, I stuffed this, now my knee is in that where the centre line and hip line cross. Immediately now he should be thinking, switching from offensive to defensive. That's when I beat the knee line with my knee, with my lead knee. Another way of doing it would be with my trail leg. I could beat the hip line with my trail leg. So in other words, I've got my knee in front of his hip. If he's still playing offensive, I'm straight into the pass. So from Tyrone's perspective, the minute that happens, he's switching back into guard retention. So let's look at dealing with the butterfly guard to start with. So say I'm in butterfly guard and Tyrone is already starting to make that scapular grip. If I'm early, if we just turn this way, so we're hand fighting. The minute he makes that initial grip, I'm just controlling the inside space, basically closing down his head. Control from a passing perspective is I want inside position, so my arm would be here, and now as he makes his grips, that allows me to want an underhook. Now from there I can start going from guard retention straight into offensive again. That makes sense. So I can initially stop it just by getting inside control. That alone now can give me head position. I get my center line back, and now I'm straight into attacking again. If I'm late, and he manages, I can nearly as if I'm combing my hair, which I do every morning. Okay, so from there, as he goes for that, I can just bring my arm inside. And again, maybe from this position, Tyrone starts to try and flatten me out from there. Already, because I have got inside position with my arm, continue the pass, bro. Now I've got my center line back, and now I can start to play the whole game. Let's look at it from half guard. So I'm playing knee shield half guard, and we're here. Now Tyrone is using indirect grip, so he'll be wanting to beat my knee line first with his knee, so he gets this through. So already now, it's already thinking about switching from offensive to defensive. So now when he makes that grip, obviously I want inside control. I don't want him making that grip. But even if he has made the grip and he grabs the pants, as long as I get my limb inside his, okay. Now when he brings his head in and starts to work the pass, keep going, bro, pass. Yeah, keep passing, keep passing, keep passing, keep passing, keep passing. Yeah, keep going, come on, you're purple belt or not. And now from here, just with keeping inside position, that completely messes up his pass. It's hard to, watching this visually, it's hard to understand how important inside position is. So say I was here playing the knee shield and he's made his grips, he manages to pass that, already even just bringing my hand inside. This alone has got me inside position. And now when he starts to work that long step, I'm still connecting my knee to my elbow. Keep going, he'll want to come up on top. And when he does, I've got inside position. And immediately, I'm back to being offensive again when I get my center line back. Which we covered the importance of that in the last vid. So that's head control from a passing perspective, how important it is. But let's talk about how head control from a guard retention perspective is so important as well. So two examples of that. Say Tyrone is passing, he's made Torian grips. Notice the way when he cuts an angle and moves the demarcation line, his hips are on one side and his head is on the other, and then he moves into the pin. He's got side control and then he controls the head. Jiu-jitsu fundamentals. Take it back a step. Knowing this, okay, I want to be controlling his head from a guard retention perspective. So in other words, I don't want his head on the opposite side of his hips. That's your basic cross body right position. So I'd be pushing his head or framing on his head to keep it on the same side as his hips. This gives me inside position, and then I can get my center line back and I'm back into guard offensive again. So let's just say he makes Torian grips. He starts to cut the angle. We're here. So now from this position, just move back, brother. Yeah, move back. Sorry, back up this way. We're close to that. So he makes his grips from that position. Perfect. Okay, so all I'm thinking about is my left hand. Okay, before he gets it on my shoulder, it's already pushing on his head. So now as he tries to work the pass, I just push his head to one side. Notice the way I've got his head and his hips on the same side. Now from this position, that creates so much space so I can move my body in. So one more time on that. That can give you the clamp position. Let's go with that. So he makes grips, cuts an angle. I'm just moving his head away from me, if that makes sense. Already, as I bring my body into position, I will have one knee in front of his shoulder and one knee behind his shoulder. Again, Tyrone will be looking to put pressure on me, and now I can use the clamp position to keep him away. From there, back to head control again. I can windshield wiper into the triangle trap, and now I can start to work the triangle. Let's just get another angle on that bro here. this side. So as he starts to work his Torianda pass, I'm already framing and moving his head to the same side as his hips. His goal will be to get close to me, and as he moves into that position, I get inside position. That's the detail I'm after. I want to be bringing my limbs on the inside. Again, it's slightly different this time. Tyrone's a purple belt. He's changed his position. But that's okay. I'm a black belt. From there, I can just weave my leg free from this position. And now, triangle trap again. And now from that position, I can start to get into the triangle. Just one more angle on that, bro. So, we're constantly thinking about framing and pushing his head to the same side. Depending on where he is, as he closes that distance, I can bring my limbs to the inside. Go back to the clamp again in this example. So I've got a knee in front of his shoulder, one knee behind his armpit as he tries to drive into me. It's difficult. And now I'll switch to head control. And now I can hip out, triangle trap, we're into our whole triangle position again. If I'm late and he manages to get his head on the same side, on the opposite side of his hips, let's talk about that. We're back into our prop that we did before. So I'm there. Notice the way, Tyrone tries to bring his head close to me, which is good for him, bad for me. So if that's the case, I can just basically frame here. He wants to bring his head to here. I'll build a base to my elbow prop, and I can move my hips back, get my center line back, and now I'm back into making a working grip, and I can start to play the game from there. One more time, not just from that side, bro. So he has a Torianda grips, he cuts the angle, his head's moving close to me, so again, maybe I can't get his head to the opposite side of, the same side as his hips. I can make a grip on the shoulder, move his head away from me, elbow prop, move my hips back to guard, but immediately I want to be starting to be offensive again. We don't want defense, pass. So that's the importance of head control from a passing perspective and from the guard retention perspective.